this morning. Thank you very much for your time. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
I am imagining that you are in no way preparing to go to the classroom this morning.
Not at all.
Well, so yesterday, a joint press conference. Before that, please, how are you?
I'm managing.
We'll come to the managing aspect. But yesterday, you came together with Nat, Teu, Nagrat, CCT. You came together and declared a strike.
Yeah.
Why?
We declared a strike because everybody in this country knows that the cost of living is going higher and higher. And all Ghanaian workers are complaining. And for us as teachers, most times we are at the disadvantage. And things being so expensive, actually what we can do is to tell our employer that the way things are going, we need to be cushioned. So I think we actually wrote to them in November, Fair Wages, Minister of Employment, telling them that the way the prices are going up, fuel price, everything, inflation, we are finding it difficult to cope. We wrote, there was no response. In February, the unions came together, wrote, there was still no response. And we are in this country. On May Day, you heard the TUC boss making mention of it, of the COLA. Still no response. And where we have gotten to, it's not like it is in our interest to decide to stay at home, but we are actually begging to survive. Things are so difficult for the Ghanaian teacher. And we are finding it difficult to cope, so we decided to go on strike because government has to come in. We can hardly cope with the situation.
So you're going on strike because you've received no response at all to your communication to government?
So, yes, no response at all. No response at all. And we think he's taking us for granted. It's not like we are asking for too much. We are not asking for too much. We just can't cope. And we are begging to survive. Then we write to you, you don't respond. We write to you, you don't respond. So this is the only action we can take for him to listen to us.
When you say him, you mean you wrote directly to the president?
Government.
Okay.
We wrote to the Minister of Employment and Fair Wages.
Okay.
So they represent government, so we can say we wrote to government.
And for the sake of emphasis, exactly what are you asking of them?
We are asking them to cushion us by giving us cost of living allowance. That is all we are asking for. Just cushion us a little bit. And we are in this country, in the year 2021, we were given, in 2020, they went for negotiation, and government decided to give us 4% increment in 2021, and then 2022 was 7%. But even these two put together, it was consumed. The conditions on which we accepted, government didn't abide by it. One of the things they said was that they are giving us 4%, but to ensure that the economy is stable, so that it doesn't affect us. The little that come will cushion us. But in that same year, 2021, that 4% was consumed. As we speak, this year we're giving 7%. The 7% inflation rate is what? 27.6%. So where are we?
Okay, so
where are we?
Okay, so first of all, you've introduced the cost of living allowance.
Yeah.
For those of us who don't, I am not in the public service. What is cost of living allowance?
Because there's inflation. Because it means just the term, the way it is, cost of living. It means living has gone up, and we are trying to ask you to add a little to us to survive. The cost of living has gone up. If you want to buy kenke, the price of kenke has gone up. If you want to buy pepper has gone up. So the cost of living is now high, and we are asking you that give us a little allowance to cushion us.
Have you ever received this cost of living allowance before?
Yes, please.
Okay, so usually when this has to be paid, is it usually the teacher unions that write to government drawing the unions that write to government drawing their attention to the current difficulties and asking for this? Is that usually how it is done?
Usually that's what, as for government will not get up and use its own initiative and said, there's inflation, cost of living has gone up, so I'm giving to you. Usually we demand. And when we demand, they have what it takes to tell them. Even government says today they should pay the cost of living allowance to us, they can do it. Our duty is to inform you that we cannot survive. It's not something we should even be asking, but in this country, unless you ask, you won't get it. So we keep asking. We've asked before, we've been giving. And this time around, we are asking again.
And I'm guessing you're asking because of the failure of government. Like you said, you negotiated 4%, 7%. Government made you a simple promise that things will remain stable.
Yeah.
Prices will not go up significantly. You will not be feeling the current suffering. And since that has not happened, you think you deserve more.
Exactly.
The letter that you wrote to the Fair Wages, the Employment Ministry, was it signed on to by all the 4 teacher unions?
First, it was, in November, it was done by the Coalition of Concerned Teachers. Then in February, all the 3 unions came together, and the 4 unions, NAT, NAGRAT, CCT, and then TEWU, came together and wrote to government. And to date, no response.
Okay, so CCT led the way, then you all came together, wrote to them, nothing.
Nothing. And even on May Day, Dr. Yaba made mention of the COLA, that government should consider giving Ghanaian workers a cost of living allowance because things are becoming really difficult. So, nothing.
Now, you've called a strike. What that means essentially is that you're bringing all activities in education in the pre-tertiary schools to a halt. So,
exactly.
Senior high school down.
Yeah.
Public schools, all of it.
Public schools.
Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing less, nothing more. We are asking all of them to stay at home. We are asking all of them to stay at home.
You have also said that if the National Labour Commission invites you, you won't go.
You see, my brother, we live in a country where they keep saying the National Labour Commission is independent, but I'm here to come into terms with it. There have been issues we have gone to Labour Commission. Labour Commission is able to drag us to the table, but it's not even able to pin government down to do what they are supposed to do. Which kind of Labour Commission is this one? We'll go to the table, they'll give instructions and give directives, all right. We'll go and comply and do what we are expected to do. But government side, they'll always not even bother to do what they have been directed to do. And we are in this country, and they are always going scot-free. And they are always going scot-free. They are not able to pin government down. No one is an individual. They'll quickly run to court and then go and ask for injunction and then place on paper. They should sit up. National Labour Commission is not helping this country. They should sit up.
And already they are telling media houses that they've written letters to you asking that you follow the processes that are laid down for the declaration of a strike. Did you do that?
They have written. You have not seen any letter. I haven't seen any letter. I have not cited any such letter. But if there's any letter to be written, why is he not writing to government to do the needful?
But did you also do the needful, as in following the laid down procedure for going on strike?
We did. To the fact that we have written to government to tell him that this is what we are asking for, and he is not responding, we have done our part. have done our part. I remember we went to National Labour Commission some time ago on arrears issues. Ask me, up to now, there are some people who they have not paid their arrears. We go and they say they are giving government 2 weeks, 3 weeks to do what and what and what. Up to date. Ask the Labour Commission what they have done to them.
You said Labour Commission can go to court, right?
That's what they always do.
But if they go to court and secure a court order, you already said you will not listen to them. Does that include the court?
The court, what do they go to take? They go to take injunction on the, they go and take injunction on the strike, isn't it?
Yes.
That one lasts for how many days? 10 days. They should go and take it. It will last for 10 days. We'll go on strike again. As for us, we'll not do anything for them to say we have disrespected the court. No. But we'll just be in circles. You know what? It is one thing. If a worker goes to work and is not satisfied, productivity will go low. Productivity will go low. They have all the powers to go and take the injunction and place on us and tell us to go back to school. Fine. They can do it 10 days after, because this time round the leaders are resolute and we are ready to stand to make sure that we also get our due. It is unfair in a country where we live and the salary structure is favoring some people and others are suffering. It is too much.
Ghana's gold.
It is too much.
How long do you intend to keep this strike going? Because you're talking about...
For as long as they decide not to give us the cola, we are at home.
Wow. And
yes.
You know...
It's indefinite. Indefinite. So indefinite. It could be 1 day. It could be 2 days. If you call us today and say, go, I'm doing this, I'm paying you this, I will do this and do that, and we come into agreement, we go back to the classroom.
Madam Sapabil, thank you very much for speaking to us this morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, VIDA SAPABIL is Women's Commissioner of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers Ghana. They were the very first people to make the demand in November. Other teacher unions followed suit. Anyway.